My name is Alexandra, no I, and this is an audio chronicling of 40 reflections in the 40 days leading up to my 40th birthday. While I am speaking from my own perspective, I invite you to join me in reflecting, implore you to share with friends who may also benefit from this type of reflection, and simply extend the offering of an opportunity to be your best and most authentic self. Episodes in this 40 and 40 series will typically be less than 15 minutes and end with a question for you to ask of yourself. Please subscribe and return to join me in this journey as we build momentum along the way. Here we go. After the train of thought inspired by that last episode, I needed to take a moment to answer that question for myself. And sometimes when we are trying to answer questions, when you think about it, answering questions, especially of ourselves, can be an experiment. So you try things, you see what works and what doesn't work, because that's the thing. Not every experiment will be successful. Not everything we try will work out for the best. I don't know if you have ever had occasion to do, they call it an elimination diet, and typically I'm not one to talk about diets, but this is an exercise where you gradually remove different things from your dietary pattern in terms of the things you consume to try to isolate the source of what may be causing an issue. So, for example, a person may eliminate dairy and see if that changes whatever issue they're experiencing. And then they may, go on to eliminate additional things until they kind of figure out, oh, okay, this is when I notice a difference in my physical process. But sometimes changing what we put into our body doesn't only affect our physical body. Sometimes it can affect our emotional body as well. And I noticed that in indulging myself in some foods that I had previously not eliminated, but all but eliminated, I noticed that not only was there a physical impact, but it started to have a mental and emotional impact as well. And you wouldn't necessarily think that would be the case, but if you look at yourself over a period of time and you think about what was different in that time, if only one key thing was different, in that instance, it could in fact be that the correlation is the source of the causation. So that's something I've been looking at, or not even looking at, realizing in the past couple of weeks, that this change that I made for physical reasons turned out to have emotional and mental benefits as well. But I didn't put it together until I reintroduced that component and things started shifting and not for the better. So I'd like to ask you to think about what you put in your body, and if there are things that you have noticed or actually know that even though they may taste good or may bring some sort of instant gratification, do you know that in the long term they are not good for you? And this could be something as, something that we would assume would fall into that category like liquor, but it could be something like dairy or, some of the foods that people talk about altering your hormonal balance or anything else. What are things that when you put them into your body or remove them from your intake have positive or negative impacts on not just your physical body, but your mental and emotional state? And if you knew this already, why do you indulge? Is the cost, like the cost benefit analysis, is it really worth it?